Cooper was complaining about back pain, and we had taken him to the doctor, and they couldn't really find anything wrong, and some days it hurt and some days it didn't, and Larry might say, hey, I need you to cut the grass, and he's like, oh, my back hurts, and Larry's like, so does mine, go cut the grass. So he was an 11-year-old kid. We were playing something at the kitchen table, and he shifted a little bit when he was doing something, I think it was Play-Doh, and he screamed when he shifted, and he was just screaming that his back hurt. I didn't know what was going on. We packed a bag. I said, I'm not coming home until someone tells us what's wrong with him. We took him to Riley. We got to the ER. They did blood work. And when they came back into the room, they said he had blasts in his blood. Cooper has way too many, and that's a red flag indication for leukemia. And the moment that the doctor told us that, I just sat there numb. I couldn't believe that's what we were hearing. And he looked at me, the doctor did, and he said, do you understand what I'm saying? And I said, I do.
The cancer presented itself in his vertebrae. He ended up with 3 cracked vertebrae because it was so packed of these cells, and that's where his pain was coming from.
We were going to have to start treatment the very next day. They were going to place support in his chest, and he was going to get his first round of chemo.
At Riley, we have a number of child life services available for our patients and families. We work throughout the hospital, but most importantly, we provide opportunities for them to be kids. So they're only patients when they're in the walls of the hospital or in the clinic, but they're always kids.
Video games are a great distraction now. They definitely made the time go by quicker.
One way that Child Life can incorporate coping is to utilize video games and technology to create that normal experience.
Friends would come up and play with me, which made my stay more enjoyable.
It's a great thing just for the kids to occupy themselves, to get their mind off of what they're going through.
We were afraid to take him places, germs.
I would stay for a long amount of time, and then I would get to go home, and then I would have to end up going back for stays, necessarily. Some were longer than others.
I said my superpower was I could hear a cough from 50 miles away or a sneeze.
I definitely spent a good amount of time staying there. My longest stay at Riley was probably about 32 days.
You're just scared because infections are it can be deadly.
In total at Riley, I spent about 155 days.
All through treatment, he pushed through. He's adamant about not wanting pain medicine, he's just tough as nails. Cooper rang the bell in July of 2017, which was his end of treatment date. I still couldn't wrap my brain around what Extra Life was because very early on in Cooper's diagnosis, a friend came to me and she said, there's a young man and he's going to do a gaming thing and raise money for Cooper for medical bills.
We have an active Extra Life Guild, and so they will come in pretty much anytime we want them to.
We were at a Microsoft store in the mall, and I got to see a lot of people just kind of sitting down and playing video games. I didn't understand necessarily what they were doing or why they were.
For us, Extra Life is a people resource, and it's also a donor resource.
She said he plays video games and people pay him money and then he's going to donate it. And I said, no one tell Cooper about this.
They are rallying their friends and families to come alongside them and support kids in hospitals by doing something that they love to do anyway.
We talked to them and they were raising money for Riley kids, and I was like, okay, how are you doing that? And by playing video games, I'm like, that's perfect. So it's a pretty nice fit.
We are going to do a marathon. I don't know that it will be 24 hours, maybe 12.
More likely we will do a 24-hour. I'm all about it. I think it's great. Get the kids in here, and I think it'd be fun.
It would be fun.
Register at extra-life.org to help kids like me.